While there's no one that lives there year-round these days, during the gold rush, Barkerville was a premier city for the Cariboo and BC as a whole.
Originally the premier gold rush town in Western North America. At one time it was said that Barkerville was the largest town north of San Francisco and west of Chicago. It was a major industrial center from between 1862 to about 1875.
These days, Barkerville operates as a historic recreation of itself in the 1800s. But there's a lot more to it than 135 restored buildings.
Barkerville is what's considered a living history museum. So we employ anywhere between a dozen and 24 professional performers every single year who deliver educational programming, historical interpretation we call it. And there are 7 different educational zones within Barkerville, each which deal with a different aspect of gold rush life in the Victorian era. That's everything from the mining history through to the early justice program. We also have the schoolhouse and domestic program, the socio-economic lives of the people who are here. And so these professional performers deliver tours, do demonstrations, take people on a journey back into the past.
As I discovered, these actors are really committed to their characters.
And it is starting, let's see here. Go right now! Yeah. I'm a partner on the Barker & Company claim, one of 5 partners. And as Mr. Barker likes to put it, I'm the poor sap who has to stay here through the winter. I also moonlight as a blacksmith from time to time.
I arrive in Barkerville in 1864. I stay here until 1875. And while I am here, I am a mining investor and I am a publican, which you would probably be more familiar with if I described it as a saloon keeper.
Now I should say that we practice an interesting style of historical interpretation. So although people represent a specific time period, they are able to converse about the entire breadth of Barkerville's history. Anything that happened during their lifetime, they'll talk about in the past tense. Anything that happens after their lifetime, they'll talk about in the future tense. And you may get a couple of raised eyebrows at some of the more newfangled things in the modern era.
What would you call that device this man in front of us is holding?
Looks like a troglodyte for surveying a mining claim.
I would say that is some sort of device to capture images and souls.
This summer is a great time to explore the past with Barkerville, and so will be 2017, which is a big anniversary for Canada and therefore a big year for BC's Gold Rush town.
July 1st, 1867, Canada became a country, and although British Columbia, where Barkerville is, doesn't join Confederation until 1871, Barkerville was still a very important reason why the Canadian colonies decided to amalgamate into the Confederation of Canada. That's what 2017 will be all about.
For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Kevin Neal.